Okay, so we're going to take a look at some more volume problems here. Let's look at this first example. So we have a rectangular prism which has a volume of 560 cubic feet. So we're going to remember our volume formula. Volume is the area of the base times the height. So I'm going to go ahead and substitute the volume in for V, 560. It says the length of one side of the base is 7 feet and the height is 10 feet. That's referring to the height of the prism. So I'm going to go ahead and substitute that in for the height of the prism. And I don't know the area of the base, but I do know the area of a rectangle is length times width. So I'm going to substitute in the formula for the area of a rectangle. So now that I know the one side length of the rectangle, 7, I'll substitute that in for the width, or you could put it in for the length, it doesn't matter. And I have enough information to solve for L, the length. So we have 560 is equal to the length, I'll make that cursive so it looks like an L, times 70. So solving, I'm dividing both sides by 70, and I'm getting that the length is equal to 8. So these are in feet. So 8 feet is the length of the one side of the rectangle. So we found that, and then it says we're supposed to find the area of the base. Well, the area of the base, we already said, capital B is equal to length times width. So we just found the length is 8, and we already knew the width was 7. So we're going to multiply 8 times 7, and 56, and again, these are feet. We're talking about area, so feet squared would be the area of the rectangle. Okay, let's look at the next example. So, second example, we have a cube this time, which has a volume of 343 cubic inches. We're supposed to find the length of an edge. Well, if you recall, a cube just a real quick sketch here. We know in a cube that's a square prism, so all of the sides have the same length. So we'll just call that S. So because they're all the same length, then every single edge here is S. So we know that for volume, we take the area of the base times the height. Well, the area of the base, that's just the area of the square. So that's S squared, or S times S, times the height of the prism, which is this S here. So that's another S. So that gives us S cubed is equal to the volume. Well, I'll substitute the volume in. 343 is equal to S cubed. So now I need to undo this equation. Right now it's being cubed. I want to solve for S. So to undo cubing something, I'm going to take the cubed root of both sides. So that gives me S. And now I just need to find the cubed root of 343. So I'm typing that in my calculator. And the cubed root of 343 is 7. So the length of an edge in this problem for this cube is 7, and these are inches. 7 inches is the length of an edge. One more example. So here we have a prism, and we know its volume is 24 cubic inches. So I'll just write that here. And then it says, what is the volume of a pyramid with the same base area and same height as the prism? So we can see here on the right-hand side, we have that pyramid, which has the same base area and same height. So if you recall the relationship we talked about earlier between a prism and a pyramid's volume is 1/3 of the volume of the prism, or the prism's volume is 3 times that of the pyramid. So the one that I know is the 24 inches cubed. That's the volume of the larger figure. So that one holds more volume. So if I'm comparing that or trying to use that to figure out the one that's smaller, I'm going to go from the larger to the smaller. I'm going to divide that volume by 3 because the larger one is 3 times bigger than the smaller. So when I divide 24 by 3, that gives me 8. And we're talking about volume here. So 8 inches cubed would be the volume for the pyramid.